Hey everybody, and welcome back once again to Old Dirty Gamers. We got Richard Stanley, Terry Hodge, and Eric Burrell once again bringing you all of the best stuff that's coming in the next week, as well as probably what's going to be coming out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
We went through some of that stuff. Kind of excited about what this year is going to bring. Last year kind of sucked. And I don't know if you noticed, but we're totally not in Tokyo. We just finally got the green screen up, so we're kind of messing around with it. We didn't really know where to go.
Tokyo.
I assumed we made the trip to Tokyo.
Is that
Isn't
three cool white guys in Japan? Well, actually, no, that's right, but
Well,
you know, that's
It's
why it's better
life.
It's all white on the
Bosom
inside.
than that. Right now, I'm worried about what we look like on the camera in front of Tokyo. The Japanese ladies. All right, so I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. As usual, pop right over to Terry's hot release.
All right. 2015 hot release. As you know now, we're letting you know games that are coming out in the future. And with a regular game release schedule, most games come out on Tuesday. So all these games are coming out on the 20th, the following week. So our first hot release that we're going to be rolling up is going to be called Blackguards 2. It's coming out on Tuesday. And it's
Oh my god, that's a really big monster.
It's a turn-based RPG, kind of a dungeon crawler. This one is kind of a spin-off from the first one. You don't play the exact same guy, but your goal is to take over the world and rule this kind of quote-unquote sky throne. If you ever played Blackguards 1, it's a PC game. It's pretty popular.
Is this a Republican game?
Actually, it is a Republican
Take over
game.
the world?
Yeah, take over the world. But take over the world by becoming the great hero. It's like
Like Beyonce.
like Beyonce or Caesar. You know, I mean,
You take over the wait. You take over the world by becoming a hero?
yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Why? I don't understand either.
Yeah.
You don't understand how a hero can take over the world?
I don't understand why the
can take
hero.
The
over-
world
why
is
would you wanna
completely
take it
destroyed
over?
and dominated by monsters and creatures, and you come over and bring humanity back from the brink.
Oh, so you're liberating
You're
humanity.
liberating
not
humanity
taking
from-
over the world. Man, that's
Well, to me, that's
so
taking
rough.
over. That's how I would take over the world, like the
You would wait until there's an apocalypse and then you would become Lord via saving individuals. I mean, that's a pretty solid plan. That's
that
definitely
or
work.
that or maybe dick pics on the internet. I'm pretty sure that's how you rule.
Or
it.
drawing on the outside of bars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
that's
maybe-
also a good way to take over the world. Take you some chalk,
Yep.
go draw a dick somewhere,
Yep.
and tell them
Giant-
Terry Hodge sent you. 'Cause that's one of my
giant
favorite
penis.
hobbies.
Yeah,
that's,
man.
that's what I do. But
Yeah.
still, it's still a pretty thin release. There aren't going to be too many AAA titles, and this is just another dungeon crawler, like to add to the big heaping mass of dungeon crawlers. that
So
are
is it like a
available for PC.
top-down game, or what? How does it play?
It plays
It
top
looks a
down,
little
but it has
Diablo-y from what we can see.
it does
Yeah,
play
yeah.
a little Diablo-y, but you know it's not exactly 100% top down. It's got a little bit of an angle to it, so you can see things a little bit closer
That
up.
looks like Cthulhu's penis.
Well, those are actually that's a fire spell we're seeing right now behind us. Look out!
Fire spell?
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, like the Lance of Longinus. It looks like long fingers.
The Lance of Longinus, nice.
But yeah, it's worth-
Diablo's penis. Just penises today.
everything reminds you. Of
Not
Jesus'
even
name.
that
It does.
can
I mean, there's
save
so
you
much,
from
so much cock.
What a dick move.
What
What a dick
What
move!
a dick
Because my
move.
name's Richard.
What a
Oh,
dick-
so
oh,
funny. He's a funny guy. This
oh,
fucking Terry
Yep,
Hodge.
hilarious.
Super cool.
that's
So it looks
coming
like
out.
it's a little top down there, like right?
It is.
Like you've got like the, sort of the Diablo. Like, is it multiplayer? Or is it just one dude taking over the world?
It's just one dude, but there are multiplayer sections that are coming out later
Those his
through
lackeys. Okay.
DLC.
All right.
That's
What's next
all, I
up?
think. Next up, we got the Citizens of Earth.
Citizens of Earth.
Yep.
We come in peace. Pew.
Wasn't that a game?
It's actually
I think. Are you thinking of Destroy All Humans?
Yeah, Destroy. Okay.
Yeah.
it's a Wii U, PS4. It's going to be available on the PlayStation Store,
You
also
know-
for Vita and 3DS through eShop. So it's a game that can play across all those platforms. And it's kind of like Earthbound meets Little King's story, where you play the president of Earth,
Okay.
and you want to recruit people to help you fight the
That's
invading
so.
aliens.
Looks like it was ripped right off of Fallout.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the art style is super Fallout. Hey, look at that guy.
Yeah. Wow.
So in the
Red-handed
game,
people trying to save the planet from aliens.
exactly.
Even though gingers like myself, we are actually aliens. You know, we came
Really?
from another planet.
Really?
That's why you don't have souls.
Is that Scotland? Where you from?
No.
The planet
No?
Scotland.
Planet Scatalia? No. I mean, I got here to TARDIS. I don't
The
know the rest
planet
of you.
Iron.
Oh my god.
That's why they speak a weird Gaelic.
I got here in a boat.
It looks like Earthbound.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it looks like Earthbound.
yeah,
How do you know what the play style's like, or what does it do?
you kind of roll around, recruit guys, and send them out on missions, and then you can follow up on their report back to you afterwards. And there's little it's really quest based. It's super RPG-ish. Don't expect a whole lot of
RPG-ish.
don't expect a whole lot of action here. I mean, there's a screenshot of what it looks like during the actual battles.
It actually looks like Earthbound.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like Earthbound basically.
Okay, yeah.
But you do recruiting. I don't know if you could recruit in Earthbound.
I don't even know what you mean by recruiting. Like you could
Well,
go
you
out
meet
and, like a Pokeball.
Well, you meet people in town and like, hey, mailman, you want to come help me fight these aliens? He's like, I don't know, I got to finish my route. So you help him deliver some mail, and then he comes.
Does he like a special like mailman rage?
Yeah, he has a
Just
has
like
a
the longer
better
you
throw.
worked. The longer you work for UPS, the more damage you do.
Well, the UPS is not the same thing as the post office.
It's
don't
not?
do envelopes,
No.
Oh, I did not know that.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Actually,
I know
it's a
nothing
superior
about
service in
UPS.
every way. But no, but actually, the mailman has the best chance of fleeing from enemies from all experience running from animals.
Okay, I see.
Oh my
From
God.
dogs and cats.
Yeah, but his attacks are actually show up a little bit later. Like, you'll tell him attacks one turn, they'll show up maybe 3 or 4 turns later randomly because mail is always late for the mail.
Okay, all right. There was a lot of mail jokes in there.
Take that, USPS. Can suck my US penis.
Oh wow, suck my US penis.
USPS.
That's definitely gonna be a T-shirt.
You
Suck
heard
my
it
US
here
penis.
first.
You heard it here first.
Awesome.
They
Cool.
suck at life.
All right, what's next?
Let's see. Next on the list.
Just keep slogging through this
Yeah.
nonsense.
We should have Gunman Clive. Is that coming up, or is it going to be the Gat Out of Hell? I think Gat Out of Hell's next.
Yeah, man.
Gat Out of Hell.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Saints Row, Get Out of Hell. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm actually. I don't know. I'm a little excited about this game. I feel like maybe Eric, you're very excited about this game.
I mean, I've heard a little bit about it. You go to hell and stuff like that, but I haven't known.
But
I
you
mean,
love cheesy shit. Like I remember
I
when you
love
first talked
cheesy
about
shit.
Saints Row 3 and 4 coming out, and you were like,
I never got a chance to play it though.
No?
No, I
Man.
didn't.
You
Well, what
gotta stop being
excites me
poor.
about this is that you don't
Well,
even need to
see,
have
when
the other
I-
games to play it. You can
Yeah,
have
it's a
just this.
standalone, right? Like you
Yeah.
can get a copy of it, but yeah, you're basically like a gangster who gets sent down to hell, and then like
It is fucking ridiculous.
they're like, hey man, I'll tell you
Do
what, you don't
that.
have to stay in hell if you can like take out Satan.
Mm-hmm.
So you go down there to take out Satan, and Satan has a daughter. There's apparently like a musical in it too.
Yeah. Did we watch the video?
Yeah, I think we did actually. We watched it on one of the earlier episodes. We watched the video of like the song. I don't even know, but that sold me right there. Like, I'm gonna get to shoot Satan. And look at this! Look at this guy. He's on a couch, and he's just chilling.
Are those
and he's
two
got
miniguns on the side?
Those are armchair miniguns. I mean, that's right there is pretty much what white America looks like watching a basketball game. That's pretty much what I think.
Come on.
Yo, no, what's wrong with you?
Come on, ref.
Oh man, I grew up with my dad always being like that, and I was never big into sports. Like, I mean, I know there's a lot of gamers who are necessarily into sports, but I was never big into sports. And my dad would always be yelling at these tall, athletic black men who really knew what they were doing and maybe made like a momentary mistake and then professionally. And my dad's like, "Oh, wait, ka-cheese!" And I was always like, "Why don't you? Maybe you should jump through there and do something, fat ass." And he was like, "Oh, I don't know how to do it, but they get paid a lot of money." And like, yeah, well.
I always picture like whenever somebody's mad at a sporting event, they just like take their hat off and just nod and why I yawn up.
Teach this thing at theater 3. If I, was not 3 feet tall, couldn't jump for shit, I would totally tell him how to play basketball. But
I'm just not that mad about a team not winning. I'm not emotionally invested in any kind of sporting event. Maybe UFC, maybe. I'm like got 20% invested since my favorite fighters have been out. But
I get super invested in like the 2 minutes that go into a sumo fight. Other than that, I don't have the attention span. But yeah, this game looks super sarcastic. Like I love sarcasm in games that don't take themselves seriously, and I'm super story based. Like I don't like sandbox stuff. You guys know. I think you're a big sandbox person. I'm a big sandbox
like
person.
sandbox.
I'm right in the middle of the road on Sandbox. Yeah, you got wings. They catch
Yeah,
on
he
fire.
gets. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's on his way out of hell, or maybe that's when he
I'm
just
pretty
got
sure
to
you get
hell.
them
I
right
don't know.
probably from the start
Yeah,
of the
I
game.
don't know.
It's like, here you go. Here's some wings.
Maybe it's a power up, and then you can double jump. It's like Dante, like
Oh,
Dante.
yeah.
Hitting in the air. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. But it's got kind of along the same, I think, level of comedy as like Sunset Overdrive. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
just nonsense, ridiculous. And
Which
that
could
can
be better
very fun.
because it's established, like unlike Sunset Overdrive, it's not like breaking in the field. It has all these jokes you can play off of if
Yeah.
you played the other games. So that might be cool if you're interested in that. Saints Row is kind of like the fun uncle of the GTA series. Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what? GTA is really heavy and going to give you a hard time. You're going to play through it and get some really serious stuff going on. They're going to get better and better, and people love just playing it online. But Saints Row is like, hey, let's have fun with it. Let's
Yeah,
get weird. Let's add
absolutely.
aliens and all kinds of ridiculous cheats. Their cheats are so ridiculous.
It's a little bit like that thing that they did with Far Cry 3, where they came out the expansion. It was, what was it? It was like Neon Dragon or
Neon
something.
Dragon, yeah, something like
You know,
that.
it was Blood
Blood
Dragon.
Blood
Okay,
Dragon,
yeah.
yeah.
Our camera
Okay.
operator, Moses, which, he's actually going to come on the show every once in a while. So you'll see him. He's very pretty.
Like
Yes.
All the ladies love Moses.
All the hipster ladies
Like,
can't
All the
wait to throw,
hipster ladies do love
they can't wait to throw their hipster
love our
panties at them.
leprosexuals.
like the Dead Sea Moses.
I'm not
Like,
sure.
let my people go.
Maybe.
I mean,
I
you
don't
might have
know.
been around a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible.
But
He does,
instead of parting Red Seas, he'll make them just like part their legs.
I know
like,
he's got a really interesting diet. From what I can tell, he pretty much just lives off of, like alcohol.
And then
like
he could
that's
very
it.
well be the original Moses.
He might be.
He might be.
That seems like an anime.
He seems
An
to be
anime
good at
would do
everything.
that.
He's really good at building, though, so he could be
Yeah.
actually Noah. What if it was the same guy being reborn over and over again? Never actually the
this shit
Bible was
again.
just, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't want to get too deep on religion on the show, but we'll move
All
on.
right, thanks. Jeez.
Hey, I don't want to talk about my faith. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
now
we're
on my way.
Trying to keep it light, and Terry's trying to bring us down. Jeez.
Sorry, that's what I
we
do.
were talking about Moses living forever and then eating pizza and drinking.
I feel like
fireballs.
that's like a comic book waiting to happen. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
seriously.
That may be coming
Like
out from DC in the New 52. Batman may actually be Moses.
That would be. That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, but what was the one? Is it Preacher? Or it's like God comes down and he like decides he's gonna be. There's a one where God comes down and he decides he's gonna be a human and he dresses up as a preacher, as like a father, like a Catholic priest or something, or a Presbyterian preacher.
No, I mean that might be
sounds like
something else.
Superman.
But Preacher was about God deserting heaven, and because this demon angel thing came down and possessed this guy, and then he could tell people what to do, and there was a lot of Texas.
Okay, there was
Yeah, that was his
something
thing.
where-
He could tell you what to do, and you'd have to do it.
You'd have to do it.
Oh, so,
Oh, look at me. On that light note, what's up next?
all right. Our next game
One
we're going
awkward
to talk
transition
about
to another today.
is Gunman Clive 2.
Okay.
This game excites me because of its art style.
Excites me.
It does. It gets me kind of randy. And it's kind of warmed up for this area. Hello.
Yeah,
But,
it's got a really interesting kind of art style. Like it looks like it's supposed to look like what a drawing looked like in like a wanted poster, right?
Wanted.
Dead or alive.
I'm a cowboy.
Cowboy.
On a regular horse I ride.
Oh man.
Ah,
Terry's afraid of
regular
horses.
hose.
I'm afraid of horses. It's true.
I
Is it
took
because
him,
of their cocks?
No, it's because their heads are super long, for one thing. So their mouth is down here, but their eyes like, what's up, bro? It's like weird. They're weird for one
They
thing.
always give me
And,
this look.
and the catch is, their hair is in the place where humans have hair, and it's like human hair. Why is that? What sick twist of
Because
fate?
we actually evolved from horses. We just changed our DNA over time, so people think it's monkeys.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Horses were
that would
colored.
explain where black people come from.
What?
Because of their
horse?
dicks.
Oh.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
I'm the
Black
guy to go
people
to.
do have big penises, as they say.
That's
Oh
the
my
truth.
God.
Everybody has big penises.
That's-
It's not just horses and
That's
black
what they
people.
tell us.
It's not like that. It's not like that. Gunman Clive is a side scroller with some platforming involved, by the way, and it's
Okay.
only $3.
$3?
Yeah, on your Wii U console.
Man, that is
It's
low rent cost.
It is an indie title that's got a reasonably good following, and
It's just Wii U. You can't get it on like Steam or something.
let me see if it's available for Steam.
Like I can't. I don't know. Like man, I have a hard time with buying like downloadable content now for Wii U. Like,
Yeah, it's just an eShop game made by
Alright.
one guy. Who just
Well,
put his
hopefully it'll
passion
do
in.
all right then. But it looks like it
I-
could have been done on a fucking phone. So I'm not really
Yeah,
sure why you
honestly.
limit yourself to Wii U. It doesn't use the Wii U remote. It doesn't use the fucking Etch a Sketch. It doesn't.
But you still got to do motion controls with it.
Do you
Yeah.
really?
No, I'm just kidding, dude.
Oh,
I know
was
you
like,
hate motion
fuck,
controls.
that's so typically Nintendo. It's like when I played, dude. When I played the first was
Twilight Princess?
Twilight Princess, and it just seemed like they came out with the game. Well, they did actually, right? It was originally for GameCube.
Yeah,
and
it was
then
for
they
GameCube
moved
originally.
it to Wii U, and they were like, "Here, now you have to do this with the controls." And it made me want to play the GameCube one instead, so I didn't have to do it.
I actually only played the GameCube one
Yeah,
because of
it
that.
was
Twilight
annoying.
Princess still badass though.
It was annoying.
If you want to look up some fun stuff, look up Twilight Princess / Rule 34. That'll make it for an interesting evening
I
for
don't
you
know
guys.
what that is. Is that a surprise? Sort of surprise for people watching?
It's mostly like Rule 34 is like stuff you say, oh, they can't make that into pornographic fan art. Well, Rule 34 means that yes, you can, and we'll find some way to do it.
No,
And
the Rule 34 is
Oh, you're gonna tell me about Rule 34, bro?
that there is a pornographic image of anything that you can possibly
That's
think
exactly
of
what
on
I
the
just
internet.
said. That's exactly.
You
And
said,
you said
like-
to go
like
to
there was a
Zelda.com / or just to Google it?
No, just to Google it.
Oh,
That's
I was like,
Zelda.com,
I
that's
don't know.
pornographic.
/ Rule
Adults
34.
only.
I was
No,
like,
please.
man,
Censored your
Nintendo.
birthday.
But that'll be interesting and fun for our fans. Look that up. And send us a message if you liked anything you saw. Personally, you can always send it to terry.hodge@GlitchSlap.com and we'll talk about it.
He will talk with you about mostly
Just-
naked Zelda.
All right,
stuff.
we'll see if I dare...
Link stuff, likely, but you know.
I'll cross the board. Anyways, I dare our followers to try to find a picture that's from Twilight, or any Rule 34 picture that I haven't already seen.
Wow.
Yep.
It's Terry.Hodge at
Terry.Hodge.
GlitchSlap.com.
That's a challenge. I'm putting it out there. Good luck, people.
You should do a giveaway. Person sends you the one thing that you hadn't seen before, the craziest thing, and you pick one. Then you should give them away like, I don't know, a picture of your cock. I have no idea.
I can picture like Terry like looking at these pictures. And he looks like Nick Cage in 8mm. You ever see that movie?
God.
Movie?
Wow.
Like,
Let's get real weird with it.
8mm is a weird movie, man. I don't know about. That was the first movie that I think ever actually creeped me out. It had like ham bone or whatever the name of the guy was. It was
Can I sidebar about Nick Cage real quick?
Okay.
This is also about my mother, so she's probably gonna watch this anyways.
Ghost Rider?
Yes, it's about Ghost Rider. My mother's terrified of horror films in general. She won't mess with them. She doesn't do them at all. And just as a game I play, I like to make her watch like one part of a movie that I know would scare the crap out of her. And so,
oh wow.
Yeah. So
no. I want you to keep talking, but I want to do this first.
This is how we avoid promoting other people's products.
Look at that.
Look at that.
You cannot see my soda.
That is awesome.
That's cool.
Awesome. So I brought her on. I'm like, all right, Mom, we're going to watch this movie about Ghost Rider. He's a superhero. He's like, oh, okay, I like superhero movies.
That's cool.
And she's like, I'm going to bring you in just this one part. It's the first time he turns into Ghost Rider where he
like,
takes like 30 seconds. And like, that's what I want my reaction to be. That was so great. Man, Nick Cage is a great actor. Move over, other actors who are more acclaimed.
I'm really sure I agree with that.
Oh, let's see you do that scene. It's sell that you're being caught up.
Fucking France, man.
Yeah, man. Viva fucking France.
I feel like that dog over there licking his balls could probably do that scene just as well as Nick Cage.
I feel like anybody who watched Lucy and said it was good can also watch Wicker Man and say it was good, for Christ's sake.
I didn't say Lucy was good.
You didn't?
No,
it was Sin City 2 you liked.
I did like Sin City.
That was an awful movie.
It was not. It was visually stimulating. I find Ava Green attractive. I like the art style. I felt like the cinema was a good like throwback continuation of the previous one. It does the same thing the first one does, which is basically scoop you up and say the world is actually shit. And before you, maybe the movie will end well. Nope, movie ends terribly.
I wouldn't know. I walked out the theater.
Oh well,
I never do that, by the way. It's the first time I walked out of the theater in a decade.
I've only walked out of the theater in 2 movies ever, and one was Wolf Creek.
Woo! Woo!
You ever see that
movie?
movie?
You wouldn't sell that in the theater?
I've heard it was bad, though. Jesus Christ.
Is that the one about the kids who killed the other kid? Kind of?
No. Okay, so there's this story, getting off subject, but
I love it.
There's a story about this guy who was found in the middle of the sort of the desert. I don't know how much you know about Australia. It takes place in Australia. Australia is basically like, there's like a giant desert.
Yeah.
Garbage.
The
and then,
outback?
like Sydney.
Yeah.
And nobody goes out there. Like every movie that you see that's about Australia is there. And it's like, no, there's a really nice, pretty part here, and then there's like a wilderness, and nobody fucking lives out there. But it takes place where somebody, I guess, decided to take a joyride around there, and it's based off of a true story in that they found this kid, and the people he went out there with were gone. And he was like, oh, well, we got kidnapped, and they got like mutilated or something. They never found the guy, never knew where he was. But the movie is movie's like an hour and a half long. Okay. The first, at least seemed like, and I think was, hour. It's just these 3 idiot kids driving around the outback and countryside, off and on, stopping in hotels, having orgies. That's the whole movie. I
think I've seen this.
And then the last 15 minutes, they go up to this like what looks like a nuclear test site crater or something like that. Get knocked over the head, and Hambone and his normal same huge white dude with an axe drags him off. Chops bits off of him, and that one dude gets away. And that whole like trauma portion is about 15 to 20 minutes.
Sounds like Chernobyl. You ever see that movie?
Chernobyl Diaries. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was just I can't.
Just to reiterate, I personally don't care for horror films at all. I find them to be pretty droll. But
I liked Oculus. Did you see Oculus?
I saw it on the other day. I didn't actually watch all of it.
Had Gillian
Murphy? No.
What?
Well, I'm glad we got on the topic of horror movies, because our next title is actually one of the most acclaimed horror games in the
Is that the next
genre.
one?
Yep.
Are we moving on to something mildly relevant now?
Yeah, we'll talk about it, because it's the HD remake of the HD remake of Resident Evil.
Resident Evil
Evil is actually the name of the series now.
Resident Evil.
Now that Obama's in office, we're going to call it President Evil.
So the first thing that we're going to be showing up, first couple of things, and the camera operators, he's totally doing a really good job right now, but it's kind of hard to see because my laptop is like super high resolution. But the first couple of images actually show some comparisons between the HD and the regular. In and of itself, the original was actually so good. Like, let's step back. The HD original was itself an HD reimagining remake of the older version. So now we have another HD re-release of an HD remake of a game that was spectacular, which is mind-blowing and annoying at the same time.
Which brings us back to one of our earlier videos where studios just be like, fuck it, I'm going to remake this game and you're going to buy it. However, these remasters do look fucking sweet.
They do.
And at
look
least
at that.
I know, look at that. That's a Hunter, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's a Hunter. And so you can see on the right side, like they obviously went through and at least turned up the resolution setting and then re-released it.
Yeah, it looks very nice.
Somebody spent some time. I don't want to say that. I've never had to remaster anything on my own. I know it takes some time. I know that most of it is actually like 5 people in a studio just taking old footage and redoing it. But it looks pretty spectacular. It actually comes out like tomorrow, like Tuesday morning, right? Tuesday night. So
Tuesday.
Tonight?
Yeah, there's a release tonight.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, if it's tonight,
we're going to do our official release tonight.
Shoot.
If it's available tonight, yeah.
Yeah, I go Twitch it. Absolutely. Cool. Well, I'm super stoked. I haven't played through it in a while. Did they add anything that you're aware of, or is it just literally an HD remaster, no new stuff?
As far as I'm aware, it's literally just an HD remaster. There might be some new content for the current generation, like PS4 version and the Xbox One version and the PC version.
Oh man, what if they added Mercenaries?
Oh man,
forget about it. They did not. But that would be super
fucking
cool.
about it, dude.
You and I still, we got to get on Resident Evil 6 and just.
Yeah.
We'll Twitch that for a while. We can do that.
I mean, I'm pretty amazing. You got to keep up though, dude.
I'm out of practice, but
you got to live and die for that.
I was pretty good. I could get golds pretty consistently.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so we'll have to check that out.
Although I prefer 5's Mercenary mode, honestly. It was more rewarding to me. Just I felt like the waves of enemies were more entertaining and not so very much like not so cheap. A lot of the enemies feel cheap.
It's been a lot of time in the that main Zulu town or whatever.
Yeah, the first town where you
that one plays for hours, man.
Yeah, and on Mercenary mode.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So much. Did you ever play any of that?
Nope.
I looked it up. Like the highest.
Did you ever play anything that wasn't indie? Man, you should be all over. Like
I mean, I do, but
Clive. What is it? Gunman Clive 2? Isn't that like your jam?
$3, dude.
It would be my jam. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it plays on like an iPad, so.
I never played. I only played the first Resident Evil, and then I watched you guys play all the other Resident Evils.
He's a closet watcher. Likes to sit there and watch other people do it. Do you watch Let's Plays a lot? I never even asked you.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I watch
Living vicariously. That's what. Look at that. And look at that. That's super sweet.
Yeah,
like I don't even.
One of my funnest memories was watching Dan play Fallout 3, like on the big projector that we used to have. And I'd go sit down there and be like, "Oh, why can't I do this all the time?"
I loved Fallout 3. The first one, New Vegas was okay. Like it was alright, but I liked it. But it felt like an expansion. It was one of those things where I was like, maybe you should have charged me like $30 and just tacked it onto the other game. But
well, speaking of how much they're charging you, lots of these HD remakes, you're paying $40 or whatever. Across the board, any system you want to play it on, $19.99 for this.
Wow.
It's almost like a must not miss if you want to play the best version of Resident Evil 1, which is arguably the best Resident Evil game there is for a single player experience, I would say.
You know what I was disappointed in is that they never did this for 2 and 3. They did 1, and I almost feel like they did it to 1 so they had an excuse to release 0, because 0 was its own game. It wasn't a remake.
I think that's what happened.
And they never did 2 and 3.
I think it's a huge misstep.
What? Yeah, no, 2 and 3. So sorry, the camera operator was pointing out that it was released. 2 and 3 were released for GameCube, but they were not remade.
They were not
remade. They were just re-released. They weren't even HD remastered. They were 2 and 3 as they were.
But if they gave them a full upgrade from the ground up with like the new enemy types and everything,
looking at like this, I would have loved it. Like there actually hasn't been a reimagining of the town of Raccoon City ever.
Yeah, unless you count the movies. Which is not a reimagining.
Why do I keep watching those every time they make one? I heard that the next one is actually going to be the last one.
It's got to be based upon the one before that. Or no, it's either the
next one or the one after. He had said that they have a... Dude. Well, I don't know. There might be another one. But he did say the guy that they had that's been writing all of them did actually specifically do an interview where he said, I have it all mapped out now, and he either said there was one more or 2 more. I don't remember what it was.
Well, I'm pulling for one more, honestly.
I am so...
Do you see him in theaters?
Yeah.
I see him in theaters too, man. I'm so ashamed of it.
You guys are smart.
I come out feeling so dirty afterwards, man. I come out feeling like I did something wrong.
I'm going to wait until we're like 50 and they've kind of gone out. They're so 10, 15 years down the line that nobody gives a shit, and I'm in a Mystery Science Theater 3000 to fuck out that whole series. If we're still doing Glitch Slap and we're like 50, 60, I don't even imagine this. We're going to be like old, so old.
We'll be the real old dirty gamers. Like, in my day, I don't have your damn VR.
Even if we're not making any money, I'm still going to be doing this in 20 years because they're just going to be like, look at these old guys.
We'll be the oldest, grumpiest fucking gamer. We'll be old grumpy gamers then.
Yeah, old grumpy gamers.
That new Resident Evil pill. I'm not going to do it.
Because by then, we want to breathe in our system. You know? I don't want to.
We're all gonna look like Gandalf. Just
I'll look
like gamer arrives exactly.
I'll look like freaking Red Fox over here.
Means too, Mr. Baggins.
We'll have the opening for the freaking Sanford and Son every time.
Coming, Elizabeth.
Every time we play a bad game, like no, it's so terrible. What the fuck are you doing? Back in my day, Mario had 3 jumps.
I already do that. I did that actually. How old was I when Mario 64 came out? 17?
God.
No,
16?
Shit, you're old, man.
Yeah, no, 16, 17. Yeah.
16, 17?
I was 11.
I don't actually know how old I was. It might have been 14.
Nah, you guys were 16.
I can't remember.
Same age.
Okay. I really can't remember. But that being said, when it came out, I was done. I had a Nintendo 64 and I tried playing it and they didn't have the woohoo and like that was the first time they added that whole persona for Mario. He didn't make that in 1, 2, 3. He didn't do it in the Super Nintendo ones. Here we go. No, he didn't do any of that. And I was like, I felt like that they were insulting Italians and I found him kind of annoying and so I stopped. The actual only games I had for my N64 were Zelda games. Was there a Metroid game? No, there was no Metroid game.
No, there's no Metroid game.
That was the dead zone.
That was the dead. Well, we're in a dead zone right now, Nintendo.
Looking at you.
You could get so much money, which I know you need because your company isn't making that much.
And they're not even doing it for DS games. Like for a while, they were doing that, like the Prime spin-offs with the DS games and remakes, and what the fuck? Anyway,
now you know what they really could do? An HD remaster of the first Metroid game. In Prime version, like remember how you play?
Prime version.
Oh,
or like
imagine
Super
that.
Metroid?
Because they did do a Zero Mission. Wasn't that a remake of it for? I thought Metroid
for Game Boy Advance.
Not Zero Mission. There was one that, or maybe it was. There was
Zero Mission. Then there was Fusion. Fusion is the last one in the series.
Was good. Yeah,
Fusion was fucking
so
great.
Good.
I love that game.
Linear, though,
I stole that game from a friend of mine back in VA. I'm like, let me just borrow it. She's like, all right. I was like,
so you didn't steal it.
Well, I borrowed it. I never gave it back.
That's not stealing. That's just forgetfulness.
Oh, actually, she wasn't a friend.
Would you say you pirated it?
No.
Yeah, forget it.
I didn't.
Did you show up with like a hat? Or like, I am I'll take forth the Samus
I think he was calling me queer, like a butt pirate or something. That's really appropriate.
How did we get from pirate to butt pirate?
They're kind of the same thing.
That's the natural progression.
Is that the progression?
Yeah, army booty and whatnot. Come on.
You take a...
I can't help it.
You take over vessels.
Dude, every pirate I think of is wearing an eye patch, but it's all
I don't really
out.
think I ever thought about how gay piracy really was. It's just
a lot of like no shirts or open shirts.
Yeah,
we say that now, but if there was like one Somali pirate in the room, we'd all be like,
do they actually consider themselves pirates?
I think they do. I think they really do.
Like they've brought it back.
I think they are the modern version of
pirate back.
Bringing pirate back.
Yeah.
That needs to happen. That needs to happen. Bring a pirate back.
I am the captain.
Your other mateys don't know how to act. Yeah.
Mateys.
Mateys.
Isn't that a cereal or something? Like marshmallow mateys?
I don't know.
Yeah. That's the cheap bag.
The cheap bag cereals.
But it's like fucking awesome.
What if the cheap bag cereals made a deal with Nintendo to make Nintendo themed cheap bag cereals? So you had like Super Mario. Man. You could have instead of Lucky Charms, they would have like Super Mario mushrooms and shit for Lucky Charms.
And coins could be the regular thing?
Yeah, man.
I would eat the shit out of that.
Well, they did that. They had the Mario cereal.
No, they didn't.
They had Mario and then Zelda cereal.
Somebody glitch slap this guy.
I'm serious.
That never happened.
That never happened.
I think
Where?
It did.
Where?
Oh, man.
When?
Where?
Somebody look that up and send us a link.
For like a year?
No. Look it up, write an article about it, and post it on your page. Video game themed food.
Can you make your own cereal? Is that a thing? Like, I know you can make everything. So can we make little biscuits and create our own bowl of cereal? And
custom made cereal?
Yeah.
We should.
Well, I mean, that seems like a lot of...
Dude, if I could, I would have alphabets with only T's, E's, R's, and Y's in it. So I could just eat my own name every day. It'd be so awesome. Wouldn't that be great?
So you could be what you eat?
Yeah, It would be terrific. That's what I call the cereal. Terrific.
What if we just did an entire cereal box where all of the cereal that was still tasted like Cheerios, but they were shaped like R's, then it could be you are what you eat.
That would be awesome. Yeah. You are what you eat.
Or if it was like pirate themed marshmallows and R's, then it could just be called R's.
Oreos, if you will.
So punny
with
the old man jokes. All right. So actually, today what we were going to talk about after the new release stuff is kind of like a long, broad stroke of new releases that are going to be going on, this year. Things that we're excited about. Games that are supposed to be coming along. I think the first one that we were going to talk about, though I'm not absolutely sure, is Batman, right?
Yes.
The Arkham Knight, if you will.
Man, this game is so Diablo 3. It's been like 3 years and they keep pushing the damn game back. It's making me shit myself every time they do it. I'm afraid that they're going to push it back again.
I'm afraid them pushing it back means it's going to be shitty.
Well, typically when they push things back, it makes it better.
Except for Watch_Dogs.
Which never got better.
Never got better.
I mean, look, we tried. I didn't even play it. My wife played it. Yeah. She plays. Yeah, she was interested. I gave her the premise, and she was like, "Oh, so it's like Grand Theft Auto, but you hack stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, man, that sounds cool, right?"
She didn't go like there are no dogs in this fucking game.
No, she did.
I thought we were just gonna watch somebody play Nintendogs this whole time.
Jesus, I just want fluffy things in my face. You would think that my wife, she loves animals.
I say that, but she's a lovely woman, folks.
I thought you
very much.
Don't describe people as a lovely woman. That makes her sound like she's 60 years old.
Okay, she's a nice.
She doesn't wear old sundresses or muumuus. She's a very sexy, hot chick. She is not a very
She's
lovely
intelligent.
woman.
She's funny. She's very helpful in every way.
I thought there'd be corgis when I play this. Corgi hackers. Where are all the corgis?
Where are the corgis
I just want to watch dogs.
Richard, just play this until I get to the corgis.
Oh, here you go. I don't want to see any more. Tell me when the dogs do it.
I'm gonna go make some.
I thought Snoop Dogg would be in this. Fucking D-O-double-G.
Watch dogs.
Jesus. Why wasn't he involved with that? Where are you at, Snoop Dogg? Step your game up. Everything dog related, you should be involved with.
I did. We're just going through things. But I just like that. Right. I'm actually just looking forward to the once again new costume. So that's going to be done by my one of my favorites. Harley Quinn.
Yes.
I gotta be honest with you.
Too.
Marvel's got more superheroes I like than DC, but DC's got way more chicks I like than Marvel. Is that weird?
Well, DC also has better likable villains.
Yeah.
I like Catwoman.
That's why I like some of the best Marvel stories in the last 5 to 10 years have all been about the heroes fighting each other, not necessarily villains.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, man.
Like Wonder Woman.
Wait a minute.
Poison Ivy. Harley Quinn.
Other than actual X-Men, what are some superhero females in the Marvel universe? Go. Can't use X-Men.
Okay.
Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. Can't use X-Men.
Can't use X-Men.
The Invisible Woman.
Really, they're not real big though. Like they're not well known.
Captain Marvel's getting her own movie.
Is she?
Yeah.
I know Captain Marvel, but then she was like...
I'm just holding it back right now. I got like a...
Miss Marvel, though?
Spider-Gwen.
Miss Marvel's gotten bigger now because they didn't retcon her, but they swapped over to somebody else.
Yeah, well, Captain Marvel. Yeah, Miss Marvel. Who else am I missing there?
And Spider-Woman, for Christ's sake.
Spider-Woman.
But she doesn't really have her own thing, though.
Yeah, she's...
Batgirl's big.
No.
But
Spider-Woman has her own thing.
She's been getting bigger.
Spider-Woman has been big since, Secret Invasion.
No, okay, what's the total length of her series right now in comics?
She's been around a while, yeah.
Since New Avengers first formed, after the Disassembled, followed by Breakout, which was 2002, 3? How long ago did that happen?
Yeah, about that.
So for about the past 10 to 12 years, they've been kind of building her up. I think Spider-Woman should have her own movie. I can't say this enough. I think she's a fantastic character.
It would be Halle Berry.
I mean...
They would make Halle Berry, and then that would be it. And then you'd be like, fuck this movie.
Yeah, fuck that.
I don't understand why the Catwoman movie happened. I don't even dislike the movie. I watched the movie, and I kind of liked the movie. I just told myself it wasn't Catwoman. No. Step back and tell yourself it has nothing to do with Catwoman. Alternate universe. Then it really wasn't that bad. It wasn't like Halle Berry's a bad actress. It wasn't like she wasn't...
They just gave her a shit script and a ridiculous plot.
I'm having
a hard time separating it from Catwoman, though.
I actually liked the Catwoman movie more than I liked the Catwoman in the most recent one. I didn't think she was a very good Catwoman. Just being an attractive chick and a good actress does not a good Catwoman make?
I think Anne Hathaway is arguably the best Catwoman I've ever had.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer was
okay.
quite literally the most
good.
perfect Catwoman. The scene where she's there in the end and her mask is ripped off, and he's like, I would love to live with you in your mansion, Bruce, but the fucking world doesn't work that way. I'm crazy. And then she fucking kills that guy with
Can I
the gun.
make an argument about that?
No.
That's just not very similar to the Catwoman in the comic. Like, she wasn't even a burglar in that movie. She started stealing stuff after she went all crazy.
I get that the storyline wasn't the same, but again, if you pull back,
her character wasn't the character from the comic.
I disagree.
It was a completely different adaptation.
I think if you took the Catwoman from the comic and you kicked her out of a building and did what you did to her, she might have reacted that way. She's fucking crazy. She fell out of a goddamn building. Like,
I think her interpretation of Catwoman was great for the movie, but as far as being anything like the source material.
So you don't like the movie?
No, I like the movie.
But if you take everything, if you take the way that she played Catwoman, when she was Catwoman, before the whole being crazy thing, the way she carried herself, the way she portrayed the cat-like features, the way that she moved on the screen, the way that she portrayed the confidence, both the confidence and the sexiness of the character, controlling herself as a woman, being a strong female character, all things that make a perfect Catwoman. And I got none of that from Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway annoyed me. She was like a strong person, but she was like, tee hee, I kicked this, and then walked out. And it's like, I get it. Anne Hathaway is super hot. I think she's super cute. I think she's done a lot of really good acting. I think she's a solid actress. But there were a lot of things that they did in that movie to take Catwoman from a way that she is and put her into that vision of how Catwoman is with the like accidental cat ears that turned into whatever's, and none of that did it for me. Like, her going in and like, Catwoman doesn't
Did they ever call her
kick
Catwoman
cripples. No, because they made a very big thing about like the superheroes not calling themselves that because it was silly. Which, don't get me wrong, I love the new Batman movies.
It's the Batman.
I'm very sensitive about Catwoman in particular. I don't know why. It's not like I relate to her. I just feel like it's a very hard thing to do. And if they had given Michelle Pfeiffer the same exact script as they had given her, and she played the same one in the new Batman with that script, she would have been a better. She's too old. Sorry, she's too old to do it now.
Yeah, she's not the same age as
but that actress
she looks great,
in this script would have been perfect, in my opinion.
I can agree with you on that, but I still feel like the way the character they were going for in the latest.
Oh, well, that's
Batman
not what
movie.
I said. We said who made the better Catwoman, and she made a better Catwoman, in my opinion. She's just a better Catwoman.
I think Anne Hathaway's Catwoman was better. That's just my opinion.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what I think. And the biggest Batman fan I know agrees with me. I'm going to give him a comment on this video about it.
Who's the biggest Batman fan you know?
His name is Jonathan Argadelis, and he hates being called Jonathan. So I might want to cut that one.
Jonathan.
John.
John Argadelis.
John A.
Chi-Town, he likes to be called. He's a very cool guy. I'm going to get him to comment on this.
Okay,
and
that's
be
fine.
a paragraph.
It's not going to make any difference to me.
I know. I just want you to know from the other side.
What I like about Catwoman has to be described in paragraphs, and it's not a she did this or she didn't get knocked out of the building or X didn't happen or whatever. And that's the same reason why I kind of liked the Catwoman movie that Halle Berry was in. It's ridiculous. I in no way attribute it to actual Catwoman. The way it was done was ridiculous. The city they're in is ridiculous. The plot is ridiculous. But she's a very strong, confident woman when she plays it. She's sexy. She's attractive. She controls things. And I don't get that from Anne Hathaway. From Anne Hathaway, I get Les Mis.
Well, we can at least say this. Batman, as a character in his universe, inspires strong feelings about the characters, and that's a good thing.
He's like one of the only super power holding fucking people who's held his own through. So, I think Batman.
Iron Man only saved the world in the first Avengers movie.
Iron Man was jack horse fucking shit until they made the new movies, and now he's super awesome. Yeah.
I beg to differ.
Well, that's fine.
Iron Man had a very good run, like right after the whole Civil War shit happened. He became director of S.H.I.E.L.D. in his book. And he, after the Extremist stuff happened in the comic, which was totally different than the movie, Extremist kills like 90% of people who do it. And when it does work on you, it wraps you in a cocoon of scabs. And based upon your DNA and your will to live, it'll give you a certain set of powers. The first guy that got it was just a crazy dude in prison. And his desire was to destroy. So he would like breathe magma. His hand would turn into a dragon's hand. He could jump and land. His legs would be made out of steel. It was very fluid. Now, Iron Man, when he took it, he got wrapped in a huge scab, and he was in the Iron Man armor at the time, and the armor disappeared. Like, what happened to the armor? Well, it turned itself into nanomachines and shrank itself down and stored itself in the hollows of his fucking bones, and he could control it from anywhere in the world. So yeah, Iron Man was a badass. And,
but Iron Man being a badass doesn't mean that they didn't use the character very much. I was just talking about how much his character was used, or how much they were well known. Like, and he just wasn't.
Well, you're right. Yeah,
is far more historically iconic than Iron Man.
He's been around since TV shows back in the day. Yeah, Iron Man was like unknown until
now he's super big and everybody loves him.
I thought you were talking about in the comics.
The main character.
Yeah, I mean, but
that's all. I thought we were talking about comics. Sorry, guys. I'm a big comic book fan. In case you don't know.
Anyway, so Batman Arkham Asylum, Jesus, Arkham Knight is, I'm looking very much forward to it. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do to it, and so I don't know why it's taking so long, because all they did is I've heard that they've tightened up the battle again, even though all you got to do is push a direction and a single button not to get hit. It's probably the easiest game I've ever played. I'm not insulting it. I've just never had a problem with the game. I beat it first time through, less than a week.
No, it's
a completionary thing, and it's about enjoying the story.
Well, I think it's as hard as you make it. You know, honestly, I played a lot of stealth portions that could have been done way easier by running in and beating up these 5 guys. You know, and I wanted to set up little parts of the game to be like how I see Batman playing in the city and whatnot. Like when they added the smoke grenade and whatnot, I'd drop on in a group of dudes and grab a guy with the grappling hook and pull him out and fuck him up, and then everyone would disappear. I was like, "What? Where'd Tommy go? Where is he?" And I want them all to panic and shit.
You know, the second game though in Arkham City, the first thing that I noticed that kind of bothered me was in Arkham Asylum. They were dumber, and they were smarter in Arkham City. But the unfortunate part about that was that you couldn't hang them anywhere. Right. Like if you picked somebody up and hung them, then rather than them just getting freaked out, they would actually just find you.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was my game or what, but I'd be across the room in the shadows hiding, and I would hang somebody over there and swoop away, and they would just see me. And I don't know if that was a bug, but I stopped doing it because I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. So I agree with you, but I also kind of wanted to do it a little bit faster. So I would usually stealth about half of them, and then I'd pop up and knock 3 of them out. Because I imagine there being 3 standing there and Batman kicking the crap out of 3 people at once.
No problem.
Because that was part of how the combo system worked in the game anyway. You actually got more points and did better by jumping and landing in a group of 20 people and knocking them all out in a continuous combo than bothering with stealth stuff.
Can I announce something right now that we're going to do related to this game? And this is me saying what we're going to do at GlitchSlap, and if I got to do it myself personally, that's fine. We're going to do a retrospective on the whole series leading up to the midnight release of the new one. So we'll play each one, tell you what the experience was like for us, and we'll try to get everybody to write about it, because I know everyone's first time playing the game.
Do you want to do a let's play all the way through them, not just a retrospective?
We can do a let's play all the way through them too. But I'd rather have different people playing different parts of the game to get different perspectives.
Well, what if we do a retrospective of one game and then play through it, and then a retrospective of the second game, play through it, and then...
I don't know. We're going to do Origins too. You guys play Origins?
I played Origins.
Okay,
I even played Blackgate, actually.
Nice. And I want to get the game at midnight and stream us opening it and playing it.
I hope this game doesn't have the Joker in it, because he died. Spoiler, he died last game.
Here's the thing. Man. I kind of hope that they come up with a weird reason for him to be...
No. Isn't it obvious, you guys? Isn't it obvious how they're going to do it? There's only 2 ways to bring the Joker back. 1... Go with how he did it before, where he brainwashed somebody and made them believe that they were the Joker. 2, Lazarus Pit.
Which actually was in Arkham City.
But he destroyed it.
That's what they wanted.
But that doesn't mean that there wasn't another one there.
There's always another Lazarus Pit. There's always a way to bring it
back. Yeah, there always has to be another Lazarus Pit, because if there wasn't, half the comics still
But I want to just say that we're going to do that and look out for that. And we'll be able to reference back to this video for that. So
yeah.
I'll be honest. I feel like that he has to be somewhere, because even showing this picture we have right now of Harley, she looks way too healed from the experience. If you played the honestly lackluster fucking DLC from the, I'm just saying it was lackluster.
Robin, so that was fun.
That was true. And I hope they do more of that, because I actually like playing as Catwoman. Incidentally, I am a huge pig, and I would just walk her around buildings slowly.
Well, talk about a good interpretation of Catwoman, Black Woman. Catwoman. Good interpretation. I almost said that. But a good interpretation of Catwoman. I fucking love that Catwoman.
Oh my god! Actually, I'm sad that this is the last one they're making. I kind of wish that they were like, okay, this is the last one in this vein, but we're going to pick another superhero, or we're just going to do a lot of these games have been doing these episodic things, right? What if they just made a Batman the Animated Series trail along, where they started at the beginning of the comics and just went through and did episodic games? I would buy them all of them. I mean, it's unfortunate that they're doing an artsy thing with it, where they're like, oh, we don't really feel like we have anything left to say. All right, but that's why I feel like
Batman hasn't been going on for fucking years and years. That's when it's the same kind of argument I feel that when people tell or say are we getting burned out on comic book stories, and be like, you know how many great comic book stories there are? Nobody's gotten burned
that people
out on that shit.
and that people haven't
haven't even experienced,
or that it actually exists now and that most people haven't even heard about.
Yeah.
There's decades upon decades of storylines that have not been put into movies and things like that. Now, I think that's why superhero stuff is so big right now, is because they know they have a lot more that they can go through it. They could make Iron Man 22 if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Or Iron Man 2099.
You could just keep bringing it back. I mean, anybody who's saying that their franchise gets old and then you gotta just put it away, shelve it. And look at James Bond. How many movies is he up to right now?
Yeah.
Like 1 billion?
I mean, the only thing about that I would say with your Joker comment, though, is I feel like the game is going to be a letdown if he's not in there somewhere, because it's a trilogy for the most part. Like, Origins, I guess, was in there. Like, they kind of did that. I feel like they did Origins because they were like, we got to release something. These people are going to get pissed off.
That was something that I was disappointed in Origins when it ends up... I don't want to do too many spoilers, but... oh, man. Too much focus on the Joker. Look, everybody loves the Joker.
I mean, I don't know if...
I know that he's in it.
Okay,
I've seen the trailer. I haven't played Origins.
Everybody loves the Joker, but he doesn't need to be the main fucking bad guy in every single
He does
Batman,
in those
Batman
games.
I'm betting it's a surprise.
One of the greatest
Batman
Batman stories ever told was
Hush?
No, yeah, it was Hush too. But
Jeez.
Nightfall.
Okay.
And that was all Bane. I mean, Joker was in it, but
I actually just don't like Bane. I feel like of all the people that they created in that universe, he was the single most ridiculous.
Then The Long Halloween, another great one, where the Joker is a completely ancillary character.
I think they should just do Death in the Family.
That would be fun too.
I don't think they can in a movie.
It'd be so dark. No, in a game.
Okay, in a game. Yeah.
Death in the Family. Well, nobody hates fucking Robin that much.
Oh,
They fucking hated Jason Todd, man.
I'm just saying, like, or some of the new 52 stuff. Like, I think if they just did a whole vein of New 52 stuff, that would be super awesome.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I would be looking forward to that
kind of thing.
Yeah, man. Like Injustice. Oh man, I could go on until the end of time about Injustice. I love and would love to look forward to and continue to see any kind of new Injustice stuff. Like, I don't want to. If you haven't actually like played it or done anything to that extent in terms of playing at your friend's house or multiplayer or experiencing or seeing the art or doing anything exposure to it, it is the best version of Mortal Kombat I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Terry doesn't like
Terry, you don't like Mortal Kombat. So if I say it's the best version of Mortal Kombat you've ever seen, I would think you would just inherently agree.
I do agree, but that's just so sad. For like, we got 10 of these games, but the best one is not one of them. Sorry.
And I don't even know what they're going to do with it. Well, they did so much stuff that they haven't really done. They did it in Mortal Kombat, but I don't think they did it as well. One of the best things about Injustice wasn't even just the storyline. It was also the fact that you interacted so interestingly with the backgrounds and knocking people through and picking up a piece. And
my favorite part is knocking them from one part of the stage to the other.
However, in actual tournament combat, they removed that from the fight.
They removed that?
Yeah.
But it's I like seeing... That's like...
Because you can turn it off.
Because you can see... When you see, like, Green Arrow, who is a normal human, he's not superhuman in any way, just really good marksman. Yeah. And you see him, when you fight in the Justice League's, was it the Watchtower or the satellite, and you knock him through something, he, like, falls into a sun, and he gets fucking hit with a plane, and then he comes out, he's like, oh, I'm fine after
You know the storyline behind it? They actually took care of that.
Yeah. With the pills and stuff
yeah. You know about that, did you?
No, I did not know that.
So they did something to equalize it. I'm sorry, this is spoilers, so like if you have a thing to go with Injustice, then I apologize. But they because there's a future, and if you haven't played through the storyline, you should, because actually it's a really cool storyline.
I've just played multiplayer, but sure, go ahead.
If you go through the storyline,
it makes sense.
In the future, they develop pills that are basically created by Superman. To have troops that give everybody near Superman-like powers. They can't fly, they can't shoot lasers, but they're fairly invulnerable. They have his healing factor based off of the sun, all that stuff.
So he's like Superman in the movie then.
Right. And so he distributes those pills to everybody, and so all the characters have that. So it's Green Arrow plus 75% or 80% of Superman's strength and resistance ability. So that gives him ability to fight on a fairly even keel in terms of that's why it's called Injustice Gods Among Us, is because they're all basically.
Oh, well, that's cool. I never do that. That makes the game that much better. I should play the.
It's super cool.
That's one of the few fighting games where I could say that I've heard nothing but good things about the story.
Yeah,
that is a real. That's really setting it apart.
There's there's a movie. They it was a movie lead up to it, which is it's just really good, man.
I should check that out. I'll give that a chance.
The fights in it when you do play the campaign, they make sense. It's like hey, what are you doing here? I don't know. I'm gonna do this and then like fight, and you're like.
They give you reasons why the superheroes fight each other,
and then as soon as like the fight's over with, it goes right in.
Some of the and they change the way they because it has to do with alternate realities and stuff. And you get there, and some of the supervillains aren't villains anymore; they're good people. They've swapped sides because all right. We gotta move on to the next game anyways because I could talk about Justice all goddamn night. Next one.
Well, I'm glad that we brought up that Batman game first because look how much additional stuff it brings up into the DC universe.
Well, Batman,
you say? All right.
Oh man!
Dying Light.
All right,
Dying Light. Okay, so next thing, and I think Eric was this is one of Eric's looking
for Dying Light. I am looking forward to
Mirror's Edge with zombies.
Mirror's Edge with zombies. It looked like when I saw the first trailer for it, I was actually just looking up horror games coming up, and that trailer popped up, and I've never been able to find the same trailer that I saw from the video. But
what was it like in the trailer?
It looks like you're running around and doing parkour. That looks kind of cool. And there's like some kind of a story going on there where you're a smuggler. Or
you're trying to gather resources. It seems like.
But there's this dynamic in the game where in the daytime the zombies kind of shamble and they're not too whatever. But there was one point in it, and I really like good hooks like this where. One point in the trailer they say like if it's nighttime you're basically committing suicide, and then it shows you like. Everything's fucking pitch black, and you fall into a group of zombies, and you have to get away from them. They can all do parkour now too.
Shit.
And
so they get World War Z zombies.
Yeah, they get faster and more agile at night. That's beta, right? And when it's
hardcore zombies,
zombies.
If they're just like faster and stronger and scrambling,
it might just be like you're doing this, but they're just like leaping over it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, like, jumping and falling, okay. But if I see a zombie like kick off a wall and jump over the wall, then it'd probably be like, nope, I'm done with this.
They get a lot faster, and when it's nighttime, it's pitch fucking black. So you really gotta use your wits to get through it. And the story looks. It's fucking weird. Like
it's a first-person game, right? So I say this a lot now because I'm looking forward to see where the gaming. And this is something maybe I'd say I'm looking forward to see where it's going to go this year.
Yes,
we all know that Oculus was bought by Facebook. We talked about that at the end of the year show. So that means that it's going to have money just injected into it, like all kinds of just shoving the money up that goddamn sphincter. So I want to see how fast they can get it to do what we want it to do. And Oculus is because it's an inherently first-person experience. It was designed as a first-person experience. This would be good for the Oculus.
Yeah.
I would like to parkour and shoot and find zombies
and be able to like look behind you and see them running after and be like, shit.
Yeah, exactly. And the only thing they got to work out, I don't know, I may have talked about this before, is the weird thing about the Oculus, especially if you didn't get a chance to try it in isolation, which by the way, I don't find it in isolation to be scary, but it's fucking terrifying in Oculus. Is that you still have the same control, so you move your body with the left stick, and then you move forward and straight with the left stick, and you look with the right stick, and then you also look. So you get to situations where you may have turned your body like this, but then you're looking this way and walking this direction.
Ooh.
And it's really kind of because you don't do that.
Counterintuitive.
It is because so what you have to do is you have to basically tell yourself not to use the Oculus unless it's very basic movements, because humans, this is how humans move. When I'm walking that way, I don't walk like this and then turn my body and go. Your head usually stays about like this unless there's something to the side that you need to see. So you have to train yourself to use the sticks for the most of the game and just make like little side movements like this. You can absolutely turn around, but it screws with you.
We really benefit from that, and I hear rumor, I can't say it's confirmed or anything, but I hear that the PlayStation version of their own Oculus will use their camera system to note things like that, so the game will be more intuitive physically when you play.
I can see that definitely happening.
I didn't.
Did you just say the PlayStation? I think I read about this, that they're doing their own version of the Oculus.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's totally happening. They're working on their own
that
thing. That
seems counterintuitive.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, why would you want to have a competing? That's weird. Because if they bring out their own, then they're. I don't know.
You think that's bad for that kind of game?
Yeah, I don't think it's good for competition. I mean, it's good for competition, but I feel like if they do it, then basically you're going to have Oculus, and Microsoft is either going to say, we got to make our own one, or fuck it, we'll take the Oculus and use theirs. But why wouldn't you just let somebody buy an Oculus and say, if I have an Oculus, I can use it across all systems? I feel like that would be a benefit. Instead of making me buy another one, I don't know. I think it's fine.
Sony's not generally known for their extremely great
who knows if they still have
they've been doing some great stuff lately. I mean, the Sony PlayStation Now, I'm actually totally excited about. I'm going to go pay for it, get it right now, because no pun intended, because I want to be able to play those games or whatever, and I've got a pretty decent internet connection. So there's some stuff that's going on with them that they're doing a pretty good job. They made The Order, which we're going to talk about here pretty soon. But the next thing we'll do is talk about Metal Gear Solid. Okay.
Metal Gear Solid.
Move on from. Well, I mean, I think that's kind of randomly in there too.
Oh, Metal Gear Solid 2, maybe.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
5.
Which is funny. I don't know why it's called Metal Gear Solid. As far as I know, fucking Solid Snake's not in it. I don't know why we've called it Solid since 2.
I'll tell you why they call it Solid.
That's not true. 4's got Solid Snake in it.
I'll tell you why they call it Solid.
Okay.
Because of its rock solid gameplay.
Whoa. I'm actually... I know that you love Hideo Kojima's cock all over your face. I think they're great games. I'm a little sick and tired of not playing as Solid Snake. Yeah. Like, he brought him back, and then there's this... At the end of 4, they did this thing that they're going to drop off, and we're not going to know what happens again for 3 more games. Because they're not going to bother...
It's kind of fucked up.
Because they're like, oh, this is probably the last game that... I'm sorry, this is spoilers, too. Don't watch this show unless you want to hear spoilers. I apologize. Because we've been playing a lot of games, and that's how we talk. But at the end... Oh, you haven't played 4 either. I'm going to make you do that. This is what we're going to do. We're going to schedule a Let's Play series where you're going to go Metal Gear Solid 1 all the way through, and you're going to play them. So I'm going to shut up now. So
and
no spoilers.
I'll be behind you just like...
I'm going to come over with popcorn. Like, we'll get a projector. We'll put it up on the screen. We can even do it at Endgame. I will get pizza, and we will just sit and watch you play.
Okay.
And you're not allowed to talk shit the whole time. It will destroy the experience for me. You'll be like, wait until you see what happens. You'll have to train yourself to give useful and helpful comments.
Dude,
not be like, God, why did you go that way? No, stop it. Don't do that. Why would you kill that guard? He's an important person.
I get hurt, and I have to wrap the bandage and be like, does it hurt?
Well, that might be funny, but I just mean don't kick him off of, because I want him to see the storyline. I want him to. I feel like he's gonna be so into it afterwards. He's gonna be like, actually, this is so good.
What if he makes huge mistakes or doesn't use tricks that you should know from playing the game multiple times?
Why aren't you sneaking, Eric? Why aren't you sneaking? It's easier to just shoot him.
I think Eric might actually just kill everybody in the game, and I'll be okay with it actually, because the story doesn't change.
I'll knock him out, and then I'll shoot him in the head.
What's the name of the program in the first game they used to make all the soldiers? I don't want to blow it up. But something terrible.
Allah.
No, it means like terrible infants or something. I don't know.
Enfant terrible or
Enfant
something.
terrible. That's the name of the program. Yeah. The first one. Anyways.
Enfant terrible.
Yeah, way too... All right. We'll get on that. Yeah, you got my back, buddy.
Anyway, all right, Metal Gear Solid 5's coming out. We're excited about it. You've seen videos for it. You've seen screens about it. You've been trolled about it.
Yes.
It's happening next month, I think. Is it not? Is it so much farther off than that?
I gotta check my hot release list on the website.
I don't know. Go to Terry's Hot Releases. It's on there. Do a search. Find it. Next one is one I'm super excited about. Okay, and that's The Order 1886.
The Order.
I'm getting weird looks. As far as I know, we've got stuff that's on there. If I didn't add on there, then we'll just skip over it.
Did you find anything?
No, I got pictures for it. If I forgot to put it in there, then I just forgot to put it in there. It's fine.
Well, we can still talk about it.
Yeah. So you can just put us back to the main stage then. So The Order is a game that's by PlayStation. It's like a zombie demon hunting thing, maybe along the lines of Nocturne, but it takes place in 1886, if you couldn't tell.
Hey, don't forget the steampunk element.
It's kind of steampunkish.
It is steampunkish because it's in 1886, so it's turn of the century, Industrial Revolution time. I love that time period. Yep. I think it's super cool. I don't do like steampunk cosplaying or anything, but I think it's a rich period of interesting storytelling. You got like Jack the Ripper and all that kind of stuff where people really weren't sure how technology worked. They weren't really sure how health worked and all that stuff. And it was just super cool.
It's like the time frame when things started to become recognizable to us in modern day.
But it was still mystical.
Still super old-timey.
I'm not too huge a fan of 1886.
You haven't seen it. You haven't even played it.
Just the year itself.
Oh.
I feel like this game will be really racially pure, if you will.
That was the year after Marty went back to get Doc in the Old West, right?
Was it
No, I think
1885?
it was
Let's watch
like-
the
I think it
movie
was
on Tuesday and find
1885,
out.
Because
Okay.
it was 1985, and then it was 1885.
Well, let's actually watch the movie on Tuesday and find out. Okay.
I'm from the future.
However,
I came here
the game
in a
does
time
look
machine
cool. The
I
game looks cool.
invented.
I think it has to be 1885 because it was 1985 and it was
2015,
and then 1885.
which is the year is right now. It's right
Yeah.
now.
And we still got no fucking hoverboards.
Oh.
Next thing that's on the list, which we also don't have any art for because I've talked about Touch Blue in the Face, I'm just going to mention it, is Final Fantasy XIV. Heavensward, which is the first expansion. It comes out later this year. We don't have an exact date for it. It's probably going to be like April or something, or shortly before, shortly after E3, because they're going to want people to play it. Lots of extra content. We don't know enough about it.
What we
By the
can
way,
say about
if there's dogs barking, we have dogs in the studio, so I'm going to apologize ahead of time if it just ends up happening. It's okay. Unless they knock stuff over, and then it would just be super entertaining. But
That'd be
Thanks.
Yeah.
what I do want to say about Final Fantasy XIV, it is pretty much the best reviewed MMO ever, and in my experience playthrough, am I right?
No, you're not wrong. I read an article, and I made a mention about one of our articles that I was like MMORPG.com or something, or something similar, some innocuous website, not really much bigger than us, said that ESO Online actually was the best role-playing or MMO of the year, and I was just like,
ESO.
Well, you can call
Elder
it.
Scrolls Online.
Oh.
You can call it the best, in your personal opinion, but as far as overall reviews go and what have you, critics
Yay.
agree that Final Fantasy XIV is the best one, which I think really says something about the Final Fantasy series as a whole. Like, even
If you take WoW out of it, WoW's its own thing.
WoW's its own thing. That's ridiculous. WoW is like another country, for Christ's sake.
It's a fucking monster.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
don't even consider that WoW. It's its own genre at this point.
But in my experience, I found it to be very accessible and a heck of a lot of fun. And I knew people that don't actually play RPGs who gave it a shot and enjoyed it too. So if you haven't tried an MMO and you want to kind of give it a shot, I think it has something for everybody.
I would save it for Heavensward and do it then, honestly, because they always have a deal.
Yeah,
they do
they
with
do.
11 where when it comes out, they offer a reduced price on 14 if you get the expansion and stuff.
Yep.
Probably going to force half the studio to play it. I'm already working on it because I want to be able to Twitch stuff for you guys for new content, and it is hard to find people. The only thing I'll say about the game is that if you play it as a casual, it's super fun.
Yep.
If you don't stress yourself out with needing things specific to do, you have smaller things to accomplish, you get weapons or do what else. It's super fun. You can do something, get a schedule where you get on with your friends once a week or once an evening and play for an hour, do your dailies and then hop off, or once a week. The elite community is super bone. Like, they hate on everybody, and I think it's because it's the only place they have to go, because the fights are fairly challenging. And you can tell because you'll talk to somebody in the game, and they'll say, oh, this fight was super easy. But literally 95% of the people can't beat it, so they'll add, like, a buff so that people can beat it. They're very good at making sure. And sooner or later, you're going to get through the content. That's what they want you to do. It's just whatever the new tier of content is, they leave it hard. It takes... weeks upon weeks for there's the dog. We might be getting a pizza delivered. Yes, pizza. But the first set of going through it is very difficult. Now that doesn't mean there isn't world firsts. There's almost always a world first beating it within the first week. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
Those people hunker down. They do it for 8 hours a night for 3 nights in a row, 4 nights in a row. I don't know if we'll ever get that fully into it because we want to commit ourselves to a breadth of games. But I do want to do some of that stuff for you guys. So.
But I would say
looking
that's just a typical online thing. You're
very small.
Like even in
percentage of
Destiny, when they release something new that's supposed to be extra tough, first, be like, oh, 6-man mission. Who's gonna beat it first? Who's gonna beat it with 3 people? Then there's that guy who just like posted up, just solo, just did the whole thing, so proud of himself. This is what he looks like in the game, but in real life, he's just like, fucking did it.
He looks like that picture of that guy from South Park.
Exactly. I love that guy though. That guy is not all of us, but among us gamers, that guy.
I know at least one guy that's pretty much just like that.
I love those guys though, man. Go for it, dude.
You know
Do
what
you,
I'm
man.
talking
about. Oh, yeah.
They consider themselves to be like so elite and amazing.
Yeah, Leet.
That's the term? Leet? See, I didn't even know that till today.
It's like 1337.
Jesus
God.
Christ. Yes, it is 1337. I knew that. I did.
The Final
know
Fantasy
that.
XIV, actually 2.5, the new patch is coming out on Tuesday.
Yep.
That adds Odin. It
Yeah.
adds, I don't think it adds another primal other than Odin, but it adds the last step in the 24-man dungeon.
Oh, man.
So that's going to be
That
pretty
sounds
fun.
fun.
And then,
That sounds fun.
Well, it is because the 24-man dungeons and that, you can just jump in it.
Nice.
It's all auto-queued. They actually don't release the ability for you to start a party entirely until later, so people are forced to do it with a bunch of crazy randoms.
Can I mention what that is? What they do in Final Fantasy, where let's say there's a dungeon you want to do, but you don't have a whole party together, you don't know who wants to do it or not. Instead of like saying, "Hey, party for this, party for that," a lot of shouting and yelling and a complicated forum system to arrange a party. You just say, "Hey, I want to do this dungeon. Anyone else who wants to do it, they just hop on in, and it makes a set list for you, and then you can all go in together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but now my understanding, it'll automatically load and put it in. Now, my understanding is actually that WoW and stuff has that capability as well, but most people don't use it.
You know what doesn't have that?
What?
Destiny.
No.
So if you want to do a mission that's going to be hard or something, you got to stand around town and be like, hey, who wants to do this? Anybody? It's like 20 years ago.
Looking for group.
Looking for group, looking for party. So you'll be doing your own thing, and some random person, hey, come and do this with us. Well, I don't want to. Well, if they had this system, then you just hop in. But the thing is, they already have it for other missions, but they haven't applied it to this. It works for strikes, which are 3-man missions, but not for raids, which are 6, which require you to run somewhere and talk to a bunch of people. However, each town can only hold like 25 people. So you can't really have a town full of 300 people like you can in an MMO, or a real MMO. So, all right.
Terry's very passive.
They need to get it together, though. What the fuck,
Do we need to reread the review of Destiny again?
No, we don't. They need to get it the fuck together, though. They need to get it the fuck together. Sorry.
Stop seagulling.
Nobody's looking forward to DLC for Destiny, though. No one.
Next one's Dead Island 2. Again, I'm just rolling through these. Dead Island 2 is not on there. I don't have anything for that either. I'm just going to mention real quick. I'm talking about Dead Island 2 like 60 million times, so I'm not really worried about it. It's going to be funny. It's going to be Dying Light.
Sounds like fun.
Less serious.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that. It's.
I've never
Dead
played
Island,
any of the Dead Island.
You should. You know what? You should get the first one. It's probably either cheap or something on Steam. I have it for my PlayStation 3. So
check it out.
We played multiplayer. You put weapons and stuff together. The first one's really funny because it's these generic white people who are in Cancun or whatever, like the big fat guy in the Hawaiian shirt, like all the very generic Americans who. That's what 90% of the zombies look like, and then they'll have staff zombies who obviously are from the island and stuff. And I don't know. They did a very good job of creating an island paradise.
Of the playable characters, is there a Ving Rhames guy? You know Ving Rhames from Day of the Dead? Nice. Dawn of the Dead? Sorry, Dawn of the Dead. Sorry, Romero fans, don't swarm me.
Jesus. Maybe. I don't know.
Just the black guy with the shotgun who's like, oh yeah, baby. Something like that. You know?
No, I don't think there is, actually.
That's the one time I look forward to being.
I think trying to get back to my brother.
It's actually been a while for me, but there's an Asian secret agent, female.
Okay.
And I don't remember. I say Asian because I don't remember what part of Asia she's from. It might be Chinese. I don't remember. There's the white douche guy who's like a has-been rapper.
Oh, 90% of white America?
Has-been rappers? I mean, he's
he
looks
show?
straight out of Jersey Shore. He's right out of Jersey Shore. His name might even be K-Fed or something. I don't know.
Sweet dude.
But he's actually who you see as in the opening. Because you're on stage and you do a thing and you kind of fall off and you're getting drunk and people are changing around you. It's a pretty cool opening. Cool. Actually, I don't remember the rest of it, to be perfectly honest with you. But I don't know.
I'll check it out.
We'll play it. Maybe we'll play it. It's fun. It's a fun game because it's just a slaughter.
Yeah, I've always heard good things.
Something I would do on a Friday or Saturday night and drink and just play multiplayer. It's pretty fun.
Sounds good to me, man. Let's do that next week.
Legend of Zelda. We do have a couple of screens of Legend of Zelda. Now, the first screen I want you guys to see when I talk about Legend of Zelda is my problem with the Legend of Zelda game, which maybe not everybody has the same problem with Legend of Zelda game. I don't know. Actually, that's not Legend of Zelda, but those boobs. You talk about those boobs?
Yeah, not this one.
Not this one?
We're
going to talk about Metal Gear another time.
Getting off track enough.
So we'll start with this picture. That's fine. The picture we've got up right now is actually it's an open world game. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not a huge open world game fan. I don't play a lot of GTA games. I hope that there's fast travel because I find it annoying. I watched the first video. Did you watch the video of them when they were doing it from CES where he was controlling and actually going over the open world?
No, I saw it. I saw that.
It took him 15 minutes to walk from one side of Hyrule to the other.
Is it like
it's like Skyrim?
You gotta go.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck.
It's like Skyrim.
It's the carrots. Huge. Get a little bit faster.
Oh, I don't know if there was. I think you just go, but he was just going in a direction and going, and I was like, oh man, This is just gonna consume a lot of time, which sounds good, but if anybody remembers Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Just being on a boat for hours and you just point yourself in a direction and go make a sandwich. I feel like it's going to turn out that way, except for that because the land is so precise, you can't because you'll get stuck on a rock.
Well, I think
I don't know why
they may have learned something from Wind Waker with that because even in the HD remake of Wind Waker, they made you move significantly faster while traveling and added just a few little things to make that.
I never actually played it. I kept meaning to. But
I never actually played it either, but I watched the whole video on what's new about it and why I should be interested because Eric's a big fan of it. I wanted to talk to him.
Wind Waker?
Yeah.
I love Logan. Yeah.
That's probably.
I might get it at some point, but so this is actually the screen that I wanted to talk about.
Man,
this looks amazing.
Yes.
Like when you see the pictures of Link, and this was from when they did the tech demo for the Wii U. Are you putting your finger up its butt?
Is that a spider or
that
is it
is
a scorpion?
That's a giant mechanical spider, Kevin Smith fans.
He's
Wow, wow, West.
Wow. That's
right around there.
Yeah, Superman, yeah. So, honestly, look at, you can't see his face from there, but Link is amazing in this. The shading is cool. The change, this is a Gomora was the name of the big spider? What was I forget.
Fuck me, man.
It was from, Zelda 1. I can, call out the names of shit from the first Zelda. But, it was a super cool tech demo. It made you really feel like it was heroic and super cool. And then, if you want to pull up the next screen... this is actually what we ended up getting. They went from this cool-looking gritty Link, which I super liked, like a Twilight Princess and stuff like that.
Oh, I thought that was
And they
great.
went from there to, I don't know. It's not even... It's just cartoony.
It looks
I'm
like
gonna
something
like
from the Dreamcast, honestly.
It does, actually. That's very good.
Dreamcast had a lot of 60 frame per second things.
There's a lot of cell shading stuff.
Yeah.
But it looks like half cell shading. They gave us Wind Waker, and I was one of those people who was like, because I'm so old and crotchety now. And then I was old and crotchety when it came out when I was 19. But I looked at it, I was like, that's not Link, it's dumb. And then 10 minutes in, I was like, that's fine. I like it.
Oh, yeah, dude. The second I realized that, the way the character looks around, I was like, a little mouthy making stuff. I was like, okay,
the art style did a lot for it, but this
the
time
cat mouth.
I felt like they did a fusion. They were like, people really liked that.
And for as far as Wind Waker and stuff like that, it ended up being a pretty violent game.
Oh yeah.
Well, I believe
with the puff of smokes. I don't know.
I believe I read online that the producer of the game had been making Zelda games since their inception, and his wife had never really played any of them until she saw this one and actually gave it a shot, and it had a lot of new gamers enjoying the new art style and feeling a little bit more accessible.
Wind Waker or the one we're talking about right now?
Wind Waker.
Okay.
Wind Waker.
Miscellaneous Zelda game with no name.
Yeah, so since then you may have noticed there's been little elements of Wind Waker in every game since. The little puff of smoke, that kind of cell shading was in Twilight Princess.
It was. It was a lot of that.
Unfortunately I never got the chance to play Skyward Sword, but I hear it's very upbeat.
It looks
Skyward Sword, when you're not flying around, which I was going to take... Again, I just found it annoying because you're just doing this...
So do you feel like they're engaging with a lot of travel elements since Wind Waker's?
There's just they wanted. I guess Wind Waker in and of itself was very much an open world game, but you never did anything in the middle really. Sometimes you'd stop and get annoyed with. You were just looking for hearts. I don't know.
I like looking for treasure in that game.
I
loot.
Yeah.
You know what I would like? You know what I would really, really like with this Zelda game? What I would really like?
Not to have to get 16 purses.
That'd be great. That'd be great. And fuck bomb shoes. Stupid. You like bomb shoes?
No.
Fuck bomb shoes.
They sound delicious.
They're stupid. I would like to kind of relive that initial experience. Now that they're doing this open world thing, let's say you start the game, you're just dropped off in the middle of nowhere, and you just can see a cave over there. You walk in the cave, there's an old guy, he's like, hey, it's dangerous out there. Take this. And it's a bow and arrow instead of the sword. You gotta work your way up to the sword.
Actually, I think that this is a very bow and arrow based game. I think I think that this particular Link is in a place where there's a lot of horses. He might be in the what's that place in Lord of the Rings where they have just like a bow Rohan.
Look at this guy. You can't ask a Lord of these 6 seconds later.
I think this one actually takes place in Rohan. Because honestly, that's the way it is. It's very engaged with his horse, and I think it has to be because it's this giant open world. So you get Epona probably first along with your bow. And then you probably get a sword later, but so much of it is going to be horseback riding and shooting and stuff like that.
So when are we going to get the Zelda game where Zelda or Link talks to Zelda and goes well, excuse me, princess?
Never again.
I actually wouldn't mind getting a Zelda game where the point of the game is that there's supposed to be a Link, and Zelda finds Link and he's trapped in a crystal or something.
I read this whole
play as Zelda, not Link as a girl, just play as Zelda.
Yeah, I read this whole online article somebody made. They drew it out with little comics, whatnot, on if Zelda could have her own game. And he was caught in a crystal, but only his hand was sticking out. And he had a magical gauntlet, and he gave it to her. And you can input Naru and all the gods into there and get different abilities over time. But you can't use the Master Sword. But the whole point was the gauntlet can hold the Triforce of Courage eventually, and then she can take the Master Sword to Link, take it off, put it in his hand, save him, and he's back out of the crystal. That's the point of the game. Cool. Going through all the dungeons, finding earning the right to get an additional Triforce piece that she already has the wisdom, and a lot of puzzle based stuff. That'd be cool because she's supposed to be smart.
I don't know. I haven't had the opportunity to play Hyrule Warriors, but she's apparently pretty badass.
Yeah, she's a beast.
She kicks ass in Smash.
Somebody was. I didn't realize this, but apparently, now she does. The new one's super cool. Sheik's on its own, and she just has her own character, and she summons things. But I think in the new one, she's actually the Hyrule Warriors
version of Zelda. Yeah, they always do that. They promote their games.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean that's super fine. But she looks hardcore. Like you meet her on the battlefield, and she's from what I saw in the opening, the little bit that I saw. But anyway, so Zelda. Looking forward to seeing what they do. I don't actually know if it's coming out this year. I just know that they're going to have more information. I hope it comes out this year. I'll totally play. I'll take time off work.
I hope Zoras are in it. I really like Zoras.
Zoras. Just love fish people. All right.
They remind me of
Except for when you had to carry that one chick around.
That was nobody likes explanations.
So we got Mortal Kombat X coming out this year too. We don't have anything for that. There actually isn't a whole lot out on it. There's like an opening video that we saw not too long ago with chicks in bikinis beating the crap out of each other. And
they're continuing to tease more and more stuff online. I'm gonna do an article about everything you need to know about Mortal Kombat 10.
He hates Mortal Kombat though, so just read that with a
I'm gonna make it very middle of the road. I won't put my opinion in it at all. I'll just give you the information you need to know. And at some point, me and Eric are gonna play Mortal Kombat together through the arcade mode cooperatively and beat its ass because Eric loves that guy. We got so into it.
Oh my god!
The other day we actually played it and it took like 40 minutes for us to beat it because we kept losing to the last tier, 3-tier bosses because they're all cheap.
Was this Mortal Kombat 9? You guys are playing the newest one or what?
Yeah, it was the newest one. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And I played through Mortal Kombat 1 on the arcade box.
Brutal.
Over at Endgame, and it was I got to Goro, and I was just like, oh my gosh, die.
He's a cheap motherfucker.
Yeah, he just stomps on you.
Yep. Stop move.
When you go to Endgame,
you when he fucking
he can't be grabbed either.
Yeah, when you go to Endgame, it's just you just push the arcade button and you keep getting more coins. So I beat him eventually.
Nice.
Immortality trumps takes time.
We had a really hard time with the last boss in that game. We tried. I was Sub-Zero and you were Raiden.
Yeah.
He beat us probably 17 times for that combination. So then, we switched characters and Eric just totally killed him on his first try.
God.
It was awesome.
Did you actually?
No, it wasn't me. It was this guy. He played Nude Sabat and then killed the guy.
Saibot.
I don't know if he even touched it. I don't know if was it
Shang Tsung?
Shang Tsung.
Oh no, it was the Emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Emperor, whatever his name is.
Kunlun?
Whatever the evil Emperor's name is. The guy who has the hammer and can shoot green shit and whatnot. He's super duper ridiculously cheap.
Yeah.
Like moves he won't get staggered by anything. He'll stop your critical move. He'll do whatever. Shao Kahn. Thank you.
I can't believe it.
So yeah, we went in, we beat us 17 times.
We got the wrong person on camera talking about Mortal Kombat.
I know.
Isn't Kunlun the Forbidden City?
It is.
In the Immortal Iron Fist.
In the Immortal Iron Fist.
Anyways, I switched to Noob
It's also
Saibot.
in 3x3 eyes.
Beat him just like that. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
it is.
3x3 eyes.
Yes!
Old school anime up in his old.
I know about 3x3 eyes.
You go like this?
The Rule 34 version.
Yeah.
Sanjan?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
What's up, Yakumo?
Okay.
Okay. Moving right along.
So that's all the games that are coming out. We were going to also chat about I'm looking forward to Oculus stuff. I said that earlier. In terms of, I want to see what they're going to do with it. See what we can get with virtual audio. How many people are going to get sick? Hopefully they won't do what they do with Nintendo stuff and basically just make a game and then put Oculus in it.
Yeah.
Like let's design games that were made for using the Oculus and not the other way around. So that's just a concept I'm looking forward to. Always looking forward to the show. CES just went by. I'm gonna try to hit up GDA. Unfortunately, we're not important enough yet to get media passes for that, so I'm gonna try and volunteer. And if I can, then I'll try and bring you guys some stuff from that. And we're gonna have E3, obviously.
Yes. Obviously.
Getting that up. So looking forward to some great shows. But what are you looking forward to for this year outside of games, like specifically?
Personally, I play a lot of mobile titles. We're hoping that there'll be more.
You gonna bring us a mobile column this year?
If you guys want one, I can do one for you. No problem.
I don't play enough mobile games because I've got so much stuff on my lap as it is. So.
Quite often, I download at least two new mobile games about every week or so and try them out. And if I find them to be of quality worth reviewing, I'll do a full review. But I might just do another quick list.
You did the Dragon Quest one, right?
Yes, I did.
Dragon Quest,
it was dope.
And then, he did a really good review on Dragon Quest. If you guys want to go, not Dragon Quest. Was it Dragon Quest 1?
It was Dragon Quest 1, which I never played before.
Did you play through it?
All the way. Beat it. Yeah, it was
super. It's super. It's easy. You can actually you can almost walk to the end.
Yeah, you can almost walk to the very last boss at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, you'll get killed. Did you kill the Metal Slime?
Yeah. Oh, I killed so many Metal Slime. They added King Metal Slime in that too
okay.
Yeah, they did a couple of upgrades.
Okay, cool.
I do like the old school way. It was written in like, "Ye hero, take upon thy quest." It was like written like that, which was cool. That was just some localization. The original game wasn't written that way for a Japanese release. But I'm hoping that there'll be more interesting titles and more things that you could they can actually sync up to your game and have relevance instead of like your Destiny companion. Oh, now I can look at my character when I'm not there. Stupid. But if you could do something.
Black Flag. The whole map interaction stuff.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah.
I like more stuff like that, but what I was hoping for is like full-on companion games would be cool. Where let's say Ratchet and Clank You know, remember that series?
Oh, actually, there was an announcement that
they're getting a movie, I think.
No, they're going to be doing more with that series. I think
I thought it was a movie that they were doing.
Microsoft, I think, bought them. Ratchet and Clank, I think there was somebody. It was them, and then something else. There was some studio that owned them, and Microsoft just bought that studio. So they said they've already got plans for that stuff coming out. I actually never played Ratchet and Clank.
I played all those.
Wasn't something I did.
I played all those.
But I'm looking forward to new Battle Arena Toshinden. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
what about you? What you?
More stuff.
Outside of games?
Indie stuff? Are you gonna do an indie column this year? Are you gonna officially write something?
Oh my God!
I want to see all the comments all day long. I don't care if it's 2 paragraphs.
The thing I'm working on right now, and I hope it's interesting. I played the original Oregon Trail and beat it for the first time.
Okay.
Which was a lot of fun. I lost my entire family. Don't name your Oregon Trail people after your family.
Okay.
No, that's how you should do it.
And then, I learned. I read a lot about the Donner Party, so I'm trying to connect those two. So I'm working on that. Outside of games, like I'm looking forward to whatever controversies happen this year. Honestly, it's such a dynamic. Or the conversation in video games is so dynamic right now about
dynamic meaning issues. Like petty or. I kind of feel like that's what a lot of it is.
I mean, a lot of shit is coming up, and it just makes it interesting, and so hopefully it continues and things get better or worse or whatever, you know. Awesome. So here we go.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, guys. I mean, unless there's anything else you want to cover, I think that's it for today. Our pizza just showed up, so we're gonna go grab a slice, and we'll get this uploaded for you guys to see pretty soon.
Which episode was this?
Episode 10. No.
9.
9. Episode 9.
Episode 9. Pizza time.
Pizza time. All right, make sure. Remember to subscribe, like us on Facebook.
Please do. Share with your friends.
And share your comments with us. Let us know if we make any improvement you want.
Yeah, well, this is a new year, so we're looking forward to whatever you guys can let us know. We want to do everything you guys want us to do. Games you want to see, cosplayers you want to see. We're going to get big with cosplay this year. We really want to help the community out. Do what we can. I mean, we don't have a lot of money, a lot of stuff, but that's not really what we're here about.
Do what we can.
Passion. Do what we can. So thanks, guys. See you next week. Thanks a lot.
Peace. Adios.